Joining us now, Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow of Michigan and former Defense Department official, former executive director of the Graham Talent WMD Commission, now a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, and an MSNBC analyst, Dr. Evelyn Farkas. Good to have you both.
March 28, 2017. After months of the false Russia narrative, an interminable and insidious forced diet of fake news, and fastidious once in an epic leadership and heroism courtesy of President Donald Trump, the American people were finally brought the truth courtesy of a man who calls himself Sundance, who incidentally operates the famous/infamous website theconservativetreehouse.com. This truth, or sunlight, is a staggeringly moronic slip of the tongue brought to you live and free of charge by a one Dr. Evelyn Farkas, Obama's own Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. In Sundance's own words, sometimes when a person is deep inside an echo chamber of like-minded ideologues, they might not realize what they're saying is rather revealing to those on the outside. That's the setup for former Obama administration official Evelyn Farkas, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, appearing on MSNBC and admitting firsthand knowledge the Obama administration spied on candidate and President-elect Donald Trump's transition team to gather intelligence for political use. It would appear Miss Farkas was so caught up in the discussion she didn't quite realize the significant admission she was making about the Obama administration spying on Donald Trump's team and generating classified intelligence for Ms. Farkas and others to spread to Capitol Hill politicians. MSNBC's Mika recognized the oh snap admission and tried to play it off, but by then, it was too late.
Because the other big story of the day, you actually knew about this attempt to get and preserve information, and full transparency, we're doing some work yourself. Tell us about that.
Well, I was urging my former colleagues and frankly speaking, the people on the Hill. It was more actually aimed at telling the Hill people, get as much information as you can, get as much intelligence as you can before President Obama leaves the administration, because I had a fear that somehow that information would disappear with the senior people who left. So it would be hidden away in the bureaucracy, that the Trump folks, if they found out how we knew what we knew about the Trump staff's dealing with Russians, that they would try to compromise those sources and methods, meaning we would no longer have access to that intelligence. So I became very worried because not enough was coming out into the open, and I knew that there was more. We have very good intelligence on Russia. So then I had talked to some of my former colleagues, and I knew that they were trying to also help get information to the Hill.
A lot going on today.
Yeah. That's why you have the leaking.
But wait, it didn't just stop there. It gets worse or better depending on your position. With the help of MSNBC, simultaneous to her admission of first-hand specific knowledge of the administration spying on Mr. Trump, Ms. Evelyn Farkas outs herself as the key source for a New York Times report which discussed President Obama officials leaking classified information to media. Considerable irony jumps to the forefront when you recognize the New York Times tried to protect Evelyn Farkas as the source of their reporting by stating, quote, more than a half dozen current and former officials described various aspects of the effort to preserve and distribute the intelligence, and some said they were speaking to draw attention to the material and ensure proper investigation by Congress. All spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were discussing classified information, nearly all of which remains secret. Evelyn Farkas was essentially part of a disinformation campaign with Obama insiders spreading a fake DNC constructed story using false information. However, in addition to pushing the false Trump-Russian conspiracy narrative, Farkas has knowledge of the outcome of the original pushing of the narrative leading to actual surveillance of the Trump team. This bolsters the information already presented by Devin Nunes that an entirely separate network of surveillance unrelated to the Russian conspiracy story was directly targeting the candidacy of Trump and the post-election surveillance of the President-elect Trump transition team.